What's up? My name is John, and you're watching Cinema Saturday. Today I have a review for Nosferatu, starring Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Wilam Dafoe, and Bill Skarsgard as the Count Olaf. The movie follows Nicholas Holt's character Thomas as he tries to secure an account for his law firm, but he has to go visit the customer in person way out in Transylvania. No exceptions. He has to go visit them in person. He goes there, and as usual, hijinks ensue. So this movie, is it a good movie? Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. It came out on Christmas Day, but I really only just got to see it last night. This is a drama horror movie. And it does not disappoint on the horror aspect, which is something I was a little worried about going in, because I know it's based on a book, Nosferatu, and I haven't read this book in years. The last time I read this book was probably 12th grade English back in 2014. So how I did know a lot of the beginning story, but maybe I didn't finish reading the book because the end of the movie, the last half, was more of a surprise to me. So I could not tell you if it was a faithful adaptation to the book. I can say that knowing it was a book going into the movie, at least at the beginning, it definitely looked like there were parts that they just cut out, just like, hey, that happened, all right, good, check that off and move on. Like, if things move a little fast, or it should have been more to fill out the scenes to get us where we're going. But honestly, I didn't really notice it. At the parts where it seemed like maybe they cut stuff out was really just in the beginning, all leading up to getting to Olaf's castle, which is pretty amazing to look at. This movie has great cinematography. Like, there are so many images that were just creepy and haunting, but also beautiful at the same time. Some of these shots in the movie, you could really make it a desktop background. They were that good, especially the shot with Nicholas Hoult approaching a carriage on like a dark road, and the moon is above his head and the snow is falling. You're just like, mwah, cinema, so good. Cinematography is good throughout. It never lets up. There are lots of cool camera movements. I really like that. And like I was saying, this movie, is a horror movie through and through. It does not let you forget it's a horror movie. There are some jump scares. In fact, I think there's a jump scare within like the first 5 minutes, like right before the title appears, there's a jump scare. So it has some jump scares filtered throughout, but it wasn't a bunch of jump scares, so that's good. It was mostly just a very creepy, disturbing vibe. There was some gore. There were lots of images, and I was just looking at it, I was like, no, 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 no. I had a good time. It was a good time. So, horror movie fans, you will not be disappointed because this is still a horror movie with some drama scenes trickled throughout. Oh, speaking of drama, I've already mentioned Aaron Taylor Johnson is in this movie, and by far probably has the best storyline, or maybe not the best storyline, but he does the most with his storyline. I think if there is a standout star in this movie, it's Aaron Taylor Johnson, which is unfortunate because nobody liked Craven. I didn't even go see Craven because I heard it was so bad, but not like Madam Web bad, worse than Madam Web. Maybe I'll still go see it because it's probably not that bad. Well, maybe it is, because Madam Web was pretty bad. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Aaron Taylor Johnson did a fantastic job. I really like Lily Rose Depp's performance as well. She did have some intense scenes where she had to portray, pretty much being possessed and all. And that was good. However, I would have to give up 2024 best possession scene to the girl in the first Omen after her car crash. That's it. That was an experience to witness. Hers was like, in an argument and emotion and rage. The other girl in the first Omen girl, she just started and she couldn't control it, and I was like, oh my god. And she went through it. She went through it. Lily Rose Depp goes through it as well, so I do commend her for giving it her all, because you definitely can tell that she did not phone it in. Nicholas Hoult, he's alright. Unfortunately, I think Nicholas Hoult might be just alright in everything he in. Hopefully not, because he is Lex Luthor coming up. So, I think he's good. I think Nicholas Hoult always services the material, but I don't think he has recently leveled above the material and raised the bar off the script to an extent where he is a standout in a movie. However, I haven't seen Juror number 2, so maybe that's the one that he's like he really put his all in. Wilam Dafoe, he's great. He's fantastic. He's a fun time. The last time I saw him was in Poor Things, where he also played a eccentric character. So maybe that's his like kind of cash cow thing. I feel like Samuel L. Jackson kind of does like a little bit. He has his stick and he's very good at it, and maybe William Dafoe has his thing that he's really good at. Even though I do agree, both actors do have range and they can do other stuff, but I think I could tell William Dafoe was having fun in his role, and I think he enjoyed it, so that was fun. And Bill Skarsgard as Count Olaf, I think also just services the material. He did not. I'm not going to put him on the list as like my best new Dracula, because he was just a creepy old Dracula, and he didn't really say or do too much to abstain from, I think, the book's version of Dracula as it was written. He was very like got that character in him and portrayed it that way, but didn't, I don't think, again with Nicholas Hoult, he did not level up the character of Dracula. However, I will say he was kind of good. He just wasn't spectacular. Actors, they're good. Lily Rose Depp, good. Lily Rose Depp and William Dafoe. Actually, no. Aaron Taylor Johnson, the best. And then probably Lily Rose Depp, because she put that work in. And then William Dafoe, because he was fun. Nicholas Hoult, unfortunately, got stuck with like the straight man character, so there wasn't too much for him to do. And disappointingly, Bill Skarsgård as Count Olaf did not make me think, oh yeah, that is the definitive Dracula that we're all going to go off of now. All the practical sets and the costumes were amazing. You really did feel like you got dropped into Germany 1838. And there are shots of long hallways or long street paths that were practical sets, and everybody's in costume and moving, and extras being extra. And so it was really cool to look at. I'm glad they took the time to do that. And this movie looks spectacular to be filmed. I saw it in IMAX. I had to wait for the IMAX screening. They're only at night if you want to go see it in IMAX. I got to catch at 9:15, but other days I saw it was only playing at 10, because I guess Mufasa is taking up the other IMAX screens. I thought the music in the movie was okay. There wasn't a moment where I was like toe tapping like, oh, okay, the composer's putting his foot in this one. No, it was alright. I think some of the more dramatic build-up scenes were good, but overall, it was just alright. There isn't too much action. There isn't too much action at all, really. Like I said, it's a drama horror and not like a drama horror adventure. It's just not really like an adventure movie. We're not out, trying to chase vampires Blade style. We are trying to mostly save ourselves without giving away spoilers from Count. And it's kind of weird. I'm trying to avoid spoilers for like a story about a book that's literally been out for decades. So it's kind of like, what am I hiding? But I wasn't so familiar with the movie, so I don't want to spoil anything. Any surprises that maybe you even just forgot happened in the book if you read the book. So I want to keep that nice and clear for you, nice and safe. This is a safe space. We're talking about the vibes of the movie. How did it make you feel? Did you like it at the end of the? Did I like the movie by the end of my experience? And I will have to say, yes, I thoroughly enjoyed my experience. I do think it took getting to the castle for me to really feel like we're in the movie. Once Thomas had to sit down at a table with Count Olaf, it was horror time from there on out. No question. I mean, it was horror time at the very beginning. We took a little break to build some story, and then we were back to horror. And the horror comes in like once every 15 minutes. There is something shocking to you in a horror sense. I would say at least every 15 minutes. Maybe even more frequent than that. Cause it was in a some scenes were definitely experienced. Hopefully this part is not a spoiler, but there's a plague of rats in their city. Oh my God, there were so many rats, and I think I could see a couple of them were CGI because they need to fill out the area. But I'm telling you, they definitely had a rat dude on set. And that man had to have at least 20 rats, 20 real rats that they filmed around him with. Because I think a lot of them were practical. And it was so many rats. It was almost crazy to see, to think that those things really happened back then. There were literal rats running among the street everywhere. Rats are crazy, man. Lots of rats. So you're gonna have to be comfortable with that. But I think that's all part of horror, the part of making you feel uneasy. Yeah, this is what this movie does. This movie is very good at making you feel uneasy. Because sometimes they're not really outright trying to scare you, but what they're showing you and what they're telling you, sometimes just don't sit right. And you're like, this is not good. What I'm looking at is not good. What these people are doing is not good, So that was fun for me. That was fun for me. Very good at IMAX. Very big pictures. Very lovely pictures. Costuming, set design, production values of this movie with only a budget of $50 million was fantastic. Is this movie for you? Should you go see Nosferatu? I think if you are any bit of a horror fan, yes, you should go see Nosferatu. It is more than a horror movie. It's more of a horror movie than I think the trailers are even letting you think. Like, you think, oh, it's creepy. You got some Victorian style, a la Crimson Peak. But I would say the imagery, the tone is much colder. There are lots of cold shots, cold scenes, as in like colors, as in blues and black, but like dark blues and grays, rather than, candlelight. Even though a lot of this is at night where Dracula is, they still managed to find a way to keep it cold and not warm, because Count Olaf is not warm and inviting. So I did like that. So yes, the tone is horror through and through. It's creepy. It almost makes you want to go back, read the book, and then go watch the movie again, so that I can see how the words on the page translated the screen from what they did adapt. So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Nosferatu. I think you should go see it if you're a horror fan at all. Do you need to go see it in the theater? I would say no, but it might be a challenge to try to sit through it at home with distractions. But you sitting in a dark room in front of a screen, and all you have to do is just watch the movie, 8 out of 10, enjoyable time. The only thing I would caution against, for people that might be on the fence of the movie, that there are some gory scenes. There are some hints to people being pleasured. So if you want to sit around your family, this is not a family movie, I would say. This is, well, I think it was rated R. This is not a family movie. I would not let my 13-year-old watch this unless they were just super into the horror genre, gothic phase, and things like that. Other than that, I'm like, maybe 15, 16, you can watch this movie. Which is some advice I'm trying to give you teachers. Don't show your kids Nosferatu, because there are some scenes they're going to talk about, and they're going to say, Miss So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so, let us watch Nosferatu. And there's that scene where that girl is going, and your career is over there. But yes, those are my thoughts on Nosferatu. It is a good movie. It is a good horror movie. Did not disappoint. Has great Victorian vibes. It's one of those cozy horror movies that you could put on during the winter time. Maybe not Halloween, but definitely maybe once a year you can throw it on and cozy up and watch some blood-sucking good fun. All right, well, that's it for me. Again, my name is John. This was Cinema Saturday. And as always, have a good one.